Okay, I'm back now to show you when we get done with the practice rounds, then you get your final round done, then you're going to deliver a report. The report should be fairly easy to do, pretty easy to create, and in this case, I'm going to show you exactly how I want you to do it. I have, in the assignment, I will show you, this is the Minnesota Micromotors report that I want. What I want you to do is kind of just read over this assignment, and probably ought to read over this assignment as you're running the simulation, because it'll help you understand what I'm looking for in terms of what you've done. And I'll show you what the report will actually look like, but there's things I want you to touch on in your report. For example, your overall strategy. I asked these questions here in overall strategy. You don't necessarily have to answer all of them, but they're questions to help you understand what I'm looking for you to understand in terms of overall strategy, what I want you to gain from this game. Customer behavior. Right? These questions are essentially basically, did you learn about customer behavior? Competitive behavior, did you learn about that? Pricing, what did you learn about pricing? What did you gain? And of course, future efforts. What you need to do is you need to create me a PowerPoint deck, but I want it done very specifically. So I'm actually going to show you how I want your PowerPoint to look. It's actually very easy. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example of a past student that did a very good job. That's not the one. There we go. Okay. What I want you to do in your PowerPoint is I want very few words on the actual slides themselves that you create. I want screenshots of your simulation. If you remember at the end of the last video, I showed you how you can go back to your simulation and you can grab some screenshots. So if you go to previous sims, it was down there at the bottom it would show up near the credits. You can click on that previous sim. So after you finish the final sim, the final round, you can click on that and it'll show you the pages of the tabs of kind of your last decision, and you can screen capture those really quickly, copy and paste those into this presentation. I don't want words on your slides, but what I want you to do is I want you to answer some of those questions or those themes that I showed you in the assignment here, okay, in the actual notes section of your deck. So here is a gal from my class about, I think, a year and a half ago, okay? Didn't perform so well here. I'm hoping for, this is kind of about an average, but I'm hoping students are somewhere in the 60s. That would be, most students in the 60s are usually the highest scores that we get. I've had a few students score as high as 80. But this is just kind of that final results that she got. Okay, so then overall strategy. You see, here's the notes. I chose to focus on these. I chose to ignore these. This was my overall strategy. Fantastic. That's what I want to see. Okay, same thing here. Customer behavior screenshot. Here's what I focused on. Here's who I ignored. Here's a couple of sentences as to why I did what I chose. Competitive behavior. Same thing. Here's the pricing changes. Here's the product features. Fantastic. Pricing. Okay, here's the pricing that I did, and here's what I did and why I did it, and kind of where my decision making and pricing ended up. And then of course the future efforts. So what went well? What mistakes did I make that I learned? What could I have learned? What might I do in the future if I were going to run the simulation again? So this is 7 slides, 7 screen captures, maybe yours is 8 or 9, but this has all of those themes, questions, segments that I wanted you to learn from the simulation, very easily built into a very clean PowerPoint with very few words on the screen and most just a couple of paragraphs, as you can see in the notes section. Now, a key note on this is that if some of you build this PowerPoint in Google Docs and do the notes, I actually want you to submit this as PowerPoint, not as a Google link. I might change that this semester. Let me think. You know what? I'm going to accept this time that it can be a Google slide. And so you can submit it via Google Slides. Just make sure that I can access the slide and then I can also access the notes. If you do transfer it over to PowerPoint, which I prefer, but it's not required, I'm going to change that this time. We did learn that if you move the PowerPoint from Google Slides to PowerPoint, it doesn't seem to capture the notes, the speaker notes. So you'd have to come in and manually enter those yourself. I'm sure Google Slides has speaker notes, so I don't use them, but I'm sure I can find them, or one of you can tell me how to find it when you submit me the link, if that's what you choose to do. But this is the format that I want it to look. I want the slides to be clean, screenshots. I want the notes to the themes to be in these sections here. Very easy, very clean. Shouldn't take you very long to do at all, okay? So that's what I'm expecting when I say I want the report section, which will come at the very end of all of this after your experience. So again, email me, send me any questions that you have. I hope you have some fun with this. That's kind of one of the goals, that you can kind of learn. I think you'll be frustrated. I like to see the frustration because it means you care, and then it's kind of neat to see the kind of experience and gain that you'll get. Hopefully, that this simulation kind of talks a lot about the tools we've used. Again, my favorite tool being the customer intimacy value, or the value disciplines, being that you can't be everything to everyone, that you really have to kind of become a master of one and maybe a master of two. But there is some sort of internal focus conflict as a company to try to be everything to everyone. I got a lot of your reports, and I noticed you saying that a lot of your CEOs are very much in that kind of middle realm of trying to be everything, and that is a very difficult challenge for businesses. Is they want to be everything to everyone, and CEOs want to be everything, and you just can't excel. You can't be great if that's the case. And I think this simulation does a great job at requiring you to make some of those tougher decisions to kind of own a segment and to kind of forfeit other segments because you can't serve them all. So good luck and have some fun with it, and let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you soon. Bye.